What's going on, guys? Cody from Motorcycle MD. Welcome to part 2 of the tank cleaning saga. This may be broken up into a third video, I haven't decided yet. And if there isn't, then at the end I'll say something about it not happening. In this video we'll be going through the second process of getting the tank ready to be coated on the inside to hopefully outlast the bike, we'll say. We want to create a brand new barrier to never worry about it again, put gas in it, and know that nothing will be entering into those carbs anytime soon, if any, for the life of the bike. If you have an old bike and you have a rusty tank, it is a problem. Stop overlooking it. The inline filters that you're putting in the fuel lines is not really helping anything. If anything, it's hurting you. And your carbs, if you did spend time cleaning them, will likely be all undone by what's inside the tank. The one thing that I've always heard about sealants is, yeah, you can do a sealant and it will last quite a while, but eventually it'll give up. What if there's a company that does that and they don't give up? Maybe if you do a good enough job on the tank cleaning process, the etching process, and put the sealant in, it will outlast the bike. I believe that's out there, and I'm going to trust KBS to hopefully fill those shoes if I can do a good enough job on this tank cleaning process. If you haven't seen video 1, we ran into some pretty crazy stuff with this tank, so be sure to check that out. That was the first process of getting the tank ready to start the second process. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We do videos on motorcycle repair, project bikes, and I try to give some helpful tips and tricks when it comes to maintaining your bike. If you need help with that, in the description below is a link that will take you to a course. 40 plus videos on how to maintenance and service your bike, things that you should be doing on a regular basis. Or if you're brand new to the motorcycle world, it's great information in there, yours to have for free. So if you are interested in looking for some type of kit to do this along with me, or your tank needs it, because I know how this video ultimately turns out, they have a great product. So I do want to give KBS a huge shout out for just the customer service that they've provided for me. I am super impressed with the products that they did give me, and I am not making any money off of their products at all. Okay, they just sent me their stuff. I wanted to try it out, but they were even nice enough to give a discount link for anyone else who may want to try it, which is pretty awesome. In the description below you'll find that. So without any more delay, part 2, let's get into it. We got to get this tank ready for the final process of coating it. Let's do it. Now, just give you guys a little bit of where we're at right now with the tank and what it looks like so we can keep track of the condition. It has gotten worse. Much worse. As we expose more and more of the bare metal, got it real clean with the stripping compound and another cleaning session, we've really exposed a lot of the metal. So now it's really trying to rust up on us as I've been in and out of this tank for the past couple of days now. So now you know where we're at now. It looks exactly the same as far as reaching over to the other side. But now we should be able to see the difference of what the etching compound will do. Alright, let's do it. So one quick go over the instructions for step 2. Pour entire amount of full strength rust blast into the dry tank. I shoved a bunch of paper towels inside, rolled it around. I have an air tank as well. I can blow in through where the petcock goes and blow around and throw the paper towels all around and get as much water as we possibly can out. And it's dry to the touch, so I'm happy with it. Do not dilute. Continually roll the tank around to ensure the interior surface are kept wet. Repeat rolling and tipping the tank every 5 minutes for a minimum of 30 minutes to 1 hour. Rust blast is an acid metal etch that will neutralize existing rust and also create an anchor pattern ideal for tank sealer adhesion. Important, do not allow rust blast to dry on the surface. This avoids too heavy of a zinc phosphate buildup, which can adversely affect the sealing process. After sufficient wet contact, drain and capture rust blast into a bucket or container. Repeat the process as needed. Once thoroughly etched, drain and rinse tank thoroughly several times with water. Note, it is not necessary to remove every last bit of the surface rust before sealing. Gold Standard Tank Sealer is very capable of bonding to and permanently sealing any remaining surfaces of rust or corrosion. Important, after rinsing, allow tank to dry completely before proceeding. Drying is best accomplished by inducing forced air into the tank by using a shop vac, blow dryer, or a fan. A white powdery residue and some slight surface rust may appear after drying. This is the zinc phosphate coating, advantageous for sealer adhesion. Note, drying is a critical step. If the tank is not completely dry, the sealer will not adhere properly. Alright? Tell you what, if there's one thing I can attest to, is that this is a patience tester. If I was any more patient with what these instructions are asking me to do, especially with the fact that I ran into it being sealant on the inside and I had to go through that process, I would blow my brains out with the amount of patience that I have. So I've tried my dangdest to follow their steps. and make sure that it's right to give you guys the best outcome and to show you guys how good their product can be. I mean, it's just straight up rust in there. It's smooth to the touch everywhere that I can feel. So that's all I got. That's all I got. Okay, I don't got nothing else. So I made these cool little makeshift plugs. They're working pretty well. Small Phillips head. I lock these in. If I was ever nervous about the paint of the tank, it would have been definitely through that paint stripping process. But I did pretty good. No issues. Happy clap for me. Alright, so that's good. Let's throw the rust blast in. Finally, step 2. Okay, this is a very concentrated etching, metal etching stuff. So, I'm in a ventilated area. Blah, blah, blah. Trying to get any on the paint as much as humanly possible. Now, if there are pinholes in the tank, your tank's bad enough to have pinholes, this is definitely going to show where they are and possibly make them bigger. Alright, so that's in. Honestly, if I could give you guys any pointers on this, a headlamp is clutch to see what the heck is going on with what you're doing. I'm trying to wet all the surfaces inside. I like being able to see where it's going. It's very scary. Woo. Close that up. Get the top of it real quick. Just trying to keep all the surfaces nice and wet. Alright. While that's sitting right there, I'm going to clean up the outside because I did get a little bit on the paint. I've just been using like a light alcohol to clean off anything that's on the tank. So I'm just going to keep rotating this thing about every 5 minutes. So we're at what, 8:30 now? Let her eat. I'm kind of prop this up a little bit right now for this phase so I can go eat some pizza later. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes till a full hour. Let's see what we look like. Oh yeah, this is a good shot right here. We got a lot of progress. It's looking awesome. I'm going to do probably another like 30 minutes. Just trying to keep everything wet. But a dramatic difference. Awesome. We're at an hour and a half. There's really just a few spots on the top of the tunnel that's kind of hard to get to that I wanted clean. I'll probably take the gasket off and coat that with some coating as well. Let's see what we got. There's really a few spots. It's like right at the top of this neck here. It's kind of hard to get to, and some on this side stuff here. It's really annoying. I want it to be perfect. I'm gonna spend a quick second because I'm not gonna be happy until these little tiny specks are gone. And we will drain this into a bucket because it is 10:20 and I have to work in the morning. Bucket. Alright, I'm gonna take it outside and run a hose through it. Okay, let's go. Alright, one wash tank. Now, key thing is to get this thing as dry as possible, as quick as possible, to prevent some level of flash rust, which happens pretty quick. Paper towels work well, but they fall apart, especially if you got cheap ones. And I don't want bits and pieces of them falling apart in the tank, so what I actually also have are some lint-free style towels. I get these from Wipeall, Amazon. They're really hard to tear, and they're lint free. I usually use a lot of them on like motor stuff. So I'm going to take this gasket off, some compressed air. I'm going to shove this down inside the tank. Grab a few more. Try to get this one on the other side. Now we got 2 towels in there. And we'll throw one more in there for good measure. Again, these things are very hard to come apart. They do very well absorbing as well as just staying together. So I'm going to have some compressed air. Let me turn this compressor on real quick. And we'll hit this tank up. What I like about the towels is that you can see those things, they're just dancing around like crazy in there. I'm definitely not naive to the fact that air compressors also have their own moisture inside the air, but I also have 2 dryers in line with my compressor system, so I'm not as concerned about that. Whereas if I had a regular old compressor and I'm pumping that thing through a bunch, there might be some moisture hanging around. I'm gonna throw another one in. It's kind of a big waste, but these are my favorite towels. But we gotta dry this tank out. Definitely nowhere near as wet as the other ones were. I'm gonna wipe this tank down again. I sprayed a bunch of stuff around it. I don't know what that is, if that's water or chemical and water mix. That's as good as I can do, man, as far as prevention goes. Sweet. Really is no powdery substance like they were talking about. There's like a couple of spots in there that I don't like, but they're tiny, like right there. But I mean, overall, you can see like that powdery looking rust stuff. That's the flash rust. Even though I got it out there as soon as I could, it still comes up a little bit. So, but I was assured to not worry about that and focus on the main stuff. So that's what I've done. So let this sit tonight. When I come back, there'll likely be more spots, but tank needs to be 100% dry. Now what I'll add is that this is just the method that I'm using. The compressed air, towels. There's other ways to skin a cat, to dry a tank out. Hair dryer works well. On a very low heat. You don't really need too much heat going into it. That kind of creates moisture, and rust loves a nice damp moist place. Really we just want moving air. So if you have a shop vac, a small shop vac, you get a Harbor Freight and get a tube that will fit right inside there that actually blows air instead of sucks in. Blow it straight in through there. And just let it rit, for 5-10 minutes or so. You can dry the tank out that way. Alright, so that's as much as I'm going to do tonight. I gotta hit the showers, get ready for work tomorrow, but I like the way that turned out there. It feels like a brand new tank, honestly. But I don't want to get all my finger oils all over it, so I have my fan blowing. I'll let that roll tonight. Kind of move the fan closer to here so it kind of aims in towards it, get some circulating air in there to keep continuing to let it dry. And then tomorrow we will coat this bad boy. Tank sealer. The rust stops here. I'm excited to do it. So I just had this brilliant idea as I was walking out. It's the old lamp. I don't know if it'll work. I can prop this up here. It's beautiful. Bingo! That deserves a slow clap. It's okay. Everybody has their moments. Alright, we have arrived. I feel like that is plenty of time for it to dry. I may be wrong, but one way I'm going to check is I'm just going to pull this off real quick. And if it did puddle or water or moisture at the bottom, if I rotate it real quick to the left hand side, I might see a little bead of water drain this way. So let's see what we got. Right now it looks very dry. I don't see anything. That's fantastic. Okay, so show you guys the best way that I can. I've been trying to show you guys with this camera. See what it looks like right now. I have like a glow light I can put in here, but I don't. And I can see light surface rust, like we knew would happen. But overall, it looks awesome. Alright, so that will wrap up this one, guys. Part 2, the etching process. Next week, we will finalize this tank. Yes, I could cram in the coating process into this video, make it 30 minutes. But there's a lot of details that I want to talk to you guys about as far as getting the best result that you want, obviously. Some of the pros and cons of what I did or what I didn't do, so that you guys aren't going into a process like this blind. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, like, share, subscribe to the channel. We do videos on motorcycle repair, projects, builds, or even if you're new to the riding world, the industry, the lifestyle that motorcycles are, and just want to learn more about your bike, ways that you can save money, things that you can do yourself. In the description there is a link to a free course called Wrenching to Ride that you should check out. It's totally free, 40 plus videos on just things that you should be doing to your bike on a very scheduled routine. And again, if you're interested in the KBS products, in the description is a discount to the same exact cleaning kit that I got here. Check them out. And if you're a fan of Motorcycle MD and want to support the channel, I just got some brand new patches that I think you guys are going to love. 3x3 iron on, put them on anything you want. I've been putting them on a bunch of hats. I love them. I also love hats. But I'll see you guys next week for the final coating process of this tank, making it beautiful again. See you next time. Cody from Motorcycle MD, bringing you guys some quality tips and tricks for your next build or your daily rider. See you next time. Later.